Hi, this is Arlene Romasanta once again, and welcome back to our course on Data Infrastructure in Fundamentals. Today, we will cover Module 3, the Data Architecture. At the end of the course, the participants will be able to understand data infrastructure, govern data and all its components, learn the data governance structure, and identify considerations for developing policies. For the third module, we will be talking about 5 topics. What is data architecture? Benefits of data architecture principles, characteristics of data architecture, and steps to designing a data architecture. What is data architecture? Data architecture consists of policies, structure, and standards that govern the organization's way of managing data, including collection, use, storage, transformation, and distribution. What are the benefits of data architecture? It helps the organization better understand their data. It helps provide a structure to clearly define roles for data governance. It provides clear policies and guidelines for managing data sharing from the source to the users. It helps with the enforcement and application of data security and data privacy. It supports the business intelligence and data warehousing activities of the organization. We'll go to the data architecture principles. Data is a shared asset. Consider data as a shared asset, breaking data silos within the organization. So no one could say that itong data na ito amin lang. Yes, sa inyo yan or sa departamento ninyo because you are the data owner. But in fact, that is the data of the organization. And so, it has to be shared to be integrated with other data in order to process and analyze to come up with intelligent reports. Data is for access. Data governance and access controls are essential considerations. Here, access to data must be controlled, so different level of access must be defined within the organization. Security is a must. Data security should always be in place, supported by data policies in accordance with the roles. Now, what are the characteristics of data architecture? Resilient. Data architecture must always be resilient. It should have a high availability, disaster recovery, and backup and restore features. Scalable. Data architecture should be scalable, adapting to the growing needs and demands for data access and management. Collaborative. Data architecture is always built on data structures that encourage collaboration since data assets are combined from multiple sources in the organization. Govern. Governance is the key in data architecture. Data management, access, sharing, and other processes are well defined. These are the steps to designing a data architecture. Do an assessment. Determine what are the existing tools and systems and how can it work together. Why is it important to do an assessment? Simply because That is the only way for you to determine what you need to plan out for. Build a data strategy. Build a business case where your data use is directly linked with the organization's goals and performance. Clear data governance. The structure should be made clear in order to determine how you will govern your data. It is important for an organization to define clear structure and assign roles for properly governed data. Infrastructure sizing. Consider the volume of data and its retention, the computing environment and hardware required. Why infrastructure sizing is important? The volume of the data holdings define the capacity of the infrastructure. Moving on, system for data collection and quality. Ensure consistency in data collection and process to address incomplete and duplicate data. This is where you put focus on validation, consistency, and accuracy of data. Dynamic reporting and analysis. Include the data or the use of data analytics to create visualization, meaningful reports, and data analysis. This type of reporting can be done based on the different demands of the organization. Let us begin by defining what is data management. Simply put, data management is the system of collecting, processing, storing, and protecting data to ensure its accessibility whenever needed by the users. There are 6 key data management principles. Develop data management strategy. In developing the strategy, the data management vision must be defined, aligned with the goals of the organization. It also includes the details of the intended data use and the plan to manage data processes. Define roles and responsibilities. Earlier, you were introduced with the roles that will be having to be defined in the organization, like the designation of Chief Data Officer, data owners, data stewards, data engineers, data analysts, including their roles and responsibilities for data use, quality, sharing, integration, protection, and analytics. Plan for data lifecycle. This plan includes the processes for data collection or creation, storage, use, sharing, archiving, and destruction. Focus on data quality, meaning the data should be constantly checked for consistency, duplication, completeness, accuracy, and timeliness. Leverage data use and analysis. Map out data use across organization and collect and analyze data to maximize results. Practice data protection. This is the application of data security on different levels of data lifecycles. Now let us move on with the data management policies. Data management policies defines how data is being managed across the organization and other stakeholders. Some data can be managed on the same or different platform within the organization. Okay. Some data can be managed or co-managed by different units within the organization. Okay. Some data can be managed or co-managed by different stakeholders outside the organization. And some data can be managed on a cloud environment. What are the considerations that we need to check on data management policies? Enterprise data is not owned by any individual or business unit, but is owned by the enterprise. Enterprise data must be safe. Enterprise data must be accessible to individuals across the organization. Of course, you just have to apply some level of controls. Metadata should be developed and utilized for all structured and unstructured data. Structured data, as you know, are the ones who are in the table and has attributes, while unstructured data are those who are represented in images, videos, articles, and some other documents. Data owners should be accountable for enterprise data. Data should be accessible to users no matter where it resides. Okay? Now, let us move on with data processing. Data processing is transforming data into useful information. Okay? On the right side, you will see the data processing cycle. Let us familiarize ourselves with the data processing cycle. It starts with data collection. Once data are collected, it will pass through preparation to serve as inputs. Data will then be processed in order to generate required output. After processing, all data should be stored and kept in a safe place. That is the simple definition of data processing. As part of data management, data access is very important in an organization. Data access is the ability to access or retrieve data whenever needed. In data access, data ownership should be clearly defined. Data owners are the ones who define the allowable data access to users. Data must be classified accordingly in order to determine and apply certain restrictions. Access to data must also be subject to approval based on the request received. Now, these are the considerations that we have to make for data access. This is the decision of the data owners in allowing access to data. The data access restrictions that must be applied. Of course, the approval process to grant data access request. The mechanism in making the data accessible. The readiness and format of the data for access. The accuracy and reliability of the data being accessed. Let us move on with data storage. It is defined as keeping a record of information or data through the storage medium. In data storage, it is important to define the medium that will be used and where should the organization locate their data storage. It could be on-site or on-premise, within the organization, or off-site or outside the organization. Organizations use the combination of storage location for their data backup or redundancy. That is on-site as well as off-site or on cloud. The storage should also have the capacity to expand considering the growth on the data needs over time. Data should also be accessed without significant interruption and kept safe and secure all the time. Now, these are some of other considerations for data storage. Familiarity on the use of the storage medium, manageability of storage location, expandability of the storage capacity, of course, security features of the storage environment, backup and recovery for redundancy of stored data, warranty in case of storage failure. That ends our Module 4. Thank you.